Nail Yakupov, a former first-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers, whose NHL potential was a franchise winger, and his comparisons of a smaller Alex Ovechkin and a Hockey Hall of Famer comparison of Pavel Bure with more physical element to his game. Whatever happened to this guy? And what would happen if we rescind his career? Let's find out.
Herotheycallme.
Hey, Let's Play, I'm Herotheycallme. This is going to be a resim of Yakupov's career. So first things first, I'm going to start off as a custom team. As you can see, I'm Seattle, NHL 32. It doesn't really matter who's on my team. I'll show you who I draft. I'm not going to draft any of the best players off any team. I just want to have a pretty mediocre team, so I don't really interfere with Nail's career. So we're not going to draft Nail. We're going to let him do his own thing. We're going to see how he does if he doesn't get drafted by the Edmonton Oilers this time. Or maybe he will. Who knows? We'll find out. So let's get into it. As you can see here, I'm doing auto sign free agents and auto staff management. I'm just going to let the game take care of it for me. I'm not going to do anything myself. I'm actually going to auto generate picks. Like I said, I'm just going to let the game do what it wants to do. So let's see what we take. And there you go. That's my team that the game decided to auto draft for itself. So let's get into it. Alright, we're at the NHL draft, and I'm pretty sure Nail Yakupov is probably going to go first overall to the Minnesota Wild. But it is Minnesota. They might actually mess things up. And it's also weird that Minnesota got the first round pick. When did they ever get a first round pick? This could be their chance to turn their franchise around. So let's see if they are going to pick Nail Yakupov as the first pick. And sure enough, they are. There you see Nail Yakupov, 76 overall right wing sniper with elite medium potential. So Nail Yakupov, once drafted by the Edmonton Oilers, is now going to be drafted by the Minnesota Wild, and we'll see what his career holds for him. So the preseason over, and the Minnesota Wild had 13 points. They were 6-0-1. They had 26 goals for and 19 against. I wonder if Nail Yakupov did anything for them. Let's take a look. Nail Yakupov played 5 preseason games, had 7 points, and he was a +4. So that's a pretty good start for the kid. We'll see if he's able to. He's a 76, like I said, so we'll see if they actually put him into the lineup. But after a preseason like that, it'd be hard not to put him in the lineup. So Yakupov is playing for the Minnesota Wild. He's played 10 games, only has 3 points, and has a 0 in the plus-minus, 0 in penalty minutes. Got 18 shots. Shooting percentage isn't the greatest, but he's playing. He's playing 8 minutes and 14 seconds a game. So he's trying his best, but maybe it would have been best if they would have sent him down. He's got 2 hits, 1 block, 2 giveaways, 4 takeaways. We'll see if he can get his numbers up. I kind of want to see what their lines are, where they're playing them. I assume they're playing on the 4th line. But here's a little overall, so we could watch his overalls grow throughout the years. This is pretty much his base overall stats that I gave him. So and there you can see the Minnesota Wild. They're using a line of Nico Sturm, Matt Boldy, and Nail Yakupov as their 4th line. That's a pretty talented 4th line. Could possibly be I'm pretty sure these are going to be their top 2 wingers in a couple of years anyways. And of course, they do also have Kirill Kaprizov, who doesn't seem to be in the lineup, which is kind of interesting. Maybe he'll crack the lineup. Maybe he's injured. Who knows? But Nail Yakupov right now on the 4th line in his first year. All right, here we are at the trade deadline, and Ryan Getzlaf is now on the Minnesota Wild. Not sure how that happened. That trade never even popped up for me, so I'm not sure how he got over here, but he's over here now. Kirill Kaprizov is playing. Like I said, he probably would be eventually. Let's see if Nail Yakupov is, 59 games. He's got 10 goals, 7 assists for 17 points for a -4. 122 shots now. His shot percentage has gone up a bit. He's got 3 game-winning goals, 1 power play goal. No shorthanders. 8:37 time on ice. It's not bad for the short amount of time on ice he's had so far. He's doing quite well. 11 hits, 7 blocks, 16 giveaways, 19 takeaways. Not a bad year so far. I assume he's still on the 4th line, but we'll give it a little check. Yep, still playing on that 4th line. This time Cody Eakin's here in place of Sturm, I believe it was, right? Season 1 is officially over. Nail Yakupov played 78 games, had 14 goals, 10 assists for 24 points, so he actually had a better first year in real life than he did in this resim, but I'm sure he'll have a better career in this game than he will in real life. So let's sim to next season and see if Nail Yakupov grows at all and where he'll be playing. Oh man, Zdeno Chara retired on the Anaheim Ducks? What? Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions. Crosby and the Art Ross. Hart goes to Matthews. James Norris to Makar. Lady Bing to Matthews. Calder goes to Kirill Kaprizov, a teammate of Yakupov. Svechnikov with the Conn Smythe. Shostorkin with the Vezina. William Jennings to John Gibson. Luke Shen wins the Bill Masterson. Bork wins the Jack Adams. Frank Jaselki goes to Kopitar. Matthews with Ted Lindsay. And Matthews with Maurice Richard. Minnesota Wild drafted Owen Power with the 9th overall pick. Here's your free agents. Kirill Kaprizov wanting $15 million as an RFA already off of winning that Calder. We have Seth Jones, Braden Point, John Klingberg, Philip Forsberg. Lots of good names in here. As you can see, a very highly talented draft class right here. So we'll see where all these guys go. And more importantly, if Minnesota will pick any of them up. It looks like the Minnesota Wild decided against signing Kirill Kaprizov, but it looks like Nail Yakupov has jumped up to that second line to play with Vincent Trocheck and Joel Eriksson-Ek. So it could be a potentially good lineup right there. They also got Nazem Kadri on the team now as their third line right winger. Let's see if they did anything on the defensive end. Not looking like it. And let's check out their goaltending situation. They got Cam Talbot and Kakokin still. So yeah, pretty much the same team as last season. Here's the updated Nail Yakupov attribute points. So if you can see any changes there, it seems to be still the same in mostly everything. The shot's gotten a little bit better. I think that's about it. So it looks like Kirill Kaprizov and Braden Point are both sitting in free agency still. Are they both RFAs? They are. So neither of their teams could come to their the will. Braden Point at $12 million makes sense. Kirill Kaprizov at $15 million. It's a little high there, buddy. All right, here we are at the trade deadline once again, and Nail Yakupov having a much better season in his second year. 27 goals, 11 assists. Still 0 in the plus minus, but he's got 11% shooting percentage right now. 5 game-winning goals, 2 power play goals, 5 power play points, 18 minutes. So he's gone up pretty much 10 minutes on time on ice, and he's definitely made the most out of his playing time. Right now, the Wild are in second place in the Central, so we'll see if they make any trades to try to beef up for a playoff run. And Yakupov actually has moved up to the first line, playing with Trocheck and Fiala now as the first line right winger. And you can see he's gone up to an 80 overall, so here's some more advanced stats. I believe he was a 78 when we started the season, so he's already got 4 points in a season and a half. Pretty damn good so far. Nail Yakupov finished the season with 33 goals, 22 assists, and 55 points. They had over three 30-goal scorers on Minnesota, almost 4 with Nazem Kadri. But hell of a second season, 55 points, 33 goals, like I said, for Nail Yakupov. And I believe the Minnesota Wild have also made the playoffs. Sure enough, they have. They are facing off against the St. Louis Blues in a potential matchup of the Seattle team, our team, facing up against Minnesota if we can both win. Minnesota also lost to St. Louis. Okay. Nail Yakupov in his first playoff series, 4 games played, 0 points, -2, 28 shots. Yeesh. That is not a good first playoff series for Nail Yakupov. Oh man, Milan Yursina retired. Buffalo, rejoice. You're going to be the 2021-2022 Stanley Cup Champions, apparently. Jack Eichel won the Art Ross. Jack Eichel won the Hart Memorial. James Norris went to Jake Muzzin. Okay, we already know this is made-up game. Patrick Kane to Lady Bing. Wait, that's not right. Lady Bing to Patrick Kane. Calder Memorial went to Per Zogan of Detroit. Jack Eichel won the Conn Smythe. Corey Crawford won the Vezina in Buffalo. Devin Dubnyk won the William M. Jennings. Bill Masterson went to Brent Seabrook. Jack Adams was the my coach. Dylan Larkin with Frank J. Selke. Jack Eichel with Ted Lindsay. And Patrick Kane with Maurice Richard. Oh boy, the free agent class is headlined by Nathan MacKinnon, and anyone that can grab the 98 overall Nathan MacKinnon is going to have a good shot at winning the cup, that is for sure. A lot of good players once again. Ovechkin's in here, Bergeron, Klingberg's in here again. Thatcher Demko apparently is also in here. That's another good get for anyone. It looks like the Minnesota Wild were able to come to contract terms with Kirill Kaprizov, but Nail Yakupov falling down on the third line, playing with Joel Eriksson-Ek and Jordan Greenway this year. Minnesota Wild now have Ilya Sorokin as their goalie. And as we see, Nail Yakupov is an 84 overall now. Here are his stats. His puck control seems to have gotten way better. His puck skills in general have seemed to have gotten way better. His defensive awareness is up to an 83. His speed is still not around the same as it was before. I think it was a 90 or something, so it's gone up by 2. His shot is getting a little bit better each and every year. So hopefully he could bounce up to that second or first line throughout the season, because he definitely doesn't deserve to be playing third line minutes. And this is his contract here, so he's going to want to put up big numbers if he wants to get a big pay raise. As we simulate through this video, here's the question of the video. Do you think Nail Yakupov will ever make his way back to the NHL? The Minnesota Wild are sitting at 7th place in the Central Division with a 28-28-6 record. Not good. Let's see if it's Nail Yakupov's fault. Nail Yakupov has 24 goals, 17 assists, and 41 points as a -4. But the last time we checked, he was a third-line winger, so let's see if that is still the case. Nail Yakupov is still the third-line right winger, despite being third on the team in points. So it just seems like the coach they have in Minnesota, or maybe the management, is not liking Yakupov right now, and they're playing him where he shouldn't be being played, and maybe he'll be looking for a new scenery come next season. The Minnesota Wild miss out on the playoffs, going 37-36-9. Not a good year for the Wild at all. Nail Yakupov finished 5th on the team with 31 goals, 20 assists, 51 points. So that's back-to-back 30-goal seasons for the 85 overall. Nail Yakupov, as you see, had 33 last season. So, he was, for a letdown of a season, it seems like it wasn't his fault. He was only 4 points back of what he did last season for the team. So it looks like other people didn't pull their weight. And Yakupov, like I said, 85 overall now. Here are his stats. And, of course, he becomes a free agent. Or not a free agent, but an RFA at the end of the year. So we'll see what happens there. Joe Thornton finally retires at the age of 43. Bruins legend Matt Bartkowski retires. The Carolina Hurricanes are once again the Stanley Cup champions. Elias Pettersson with the Art Ross. Svechnikov with the Hart. James Norris goes to Erik Karlsson. Lady Bing to Erik Karlsson. Calder goes to Dominic Bach. Colin Smythe to Sebastian Aho. Corey Crawford wins the Vezina and the William M. Jennings. Jake Gardiner with the Bill Masterson. Jack Adams goes to Traverse. Frank J. Selke to Larkin. Ted Lindsay Award to Svechnikov. And Taylor Hall wins the Maurice Richard. Free agency class is headlined by William Nylander. Looks like the Wild lost their goalie, Ilya Sorokin. Nail Yakupov signed a 2-year, $6.815 million contract to stay with the Wild. So he's getting paid for at least 2 more years. Minnesota finally has Nail Yakupov where he belongs on the top line with Nazem Kadri and Kirill Kaprizov as his line mates. That should be a pretty damn good line. Too bad the rest of the team is looking pretty ugly. Or getting old anyways, I should say, and falling apart. But we'll go ahead and look at their defense real quick. Owen Power getting up there as the best left-handed shot defenseman. Ryan Sutter falling pretty hard, but their D looks okay, I guess. And we'll see who they replace Sorokin with. Vinny Velvelainen, okay, and Yaroslav Halak as their 2 netminders. That might be an issue. Minnesota Wild are the best team in the Central. Well, it seems like they're tied with Chicago technically, but just slightly better with the tiebreaker. Nail Yakupov is leading the team in goals and in points. He's got 34 goals, 23 assists, 57 points, plus 11, 229 shots. He's got 2 game-winning goals, 7 power play goals, and 14 power play assists. So he's putting up some good numbers on the power play as well. Over 17 minutes time on attack, almost 18. And 120 hits, so he's throwing around the body as well. Minnesota Wild finished 3rd in the Central, but still good enough to obviously get into the playoffs. 94 points, 44 wins, 32 losses. Nail Yakupov actually got dethroned for most points, but killed his goal scoring record with 44 goals now. He's got 75 points. Definitely the best season he's had ever for the Minnesota Wild. 87 overall now as well. We'll check out the rest of his. That's not what I wanted to go to. I don't want to go to there. I wanted to go to here. D-King's 99, hand-eyes 89, passing's 84, puck control's at 96, speed's at 93, agility is at 91, acceleration's at 96, offensive awareness is at 99, his wrist shot actually is at 94. He's going to start popping in them goals. I'm telling you, he already is. Almost got 50 this season. Maybe next season he'll hit that magical 50. And the Minnesota Wild are once again facing the St. Louis Blues in the first round of the playoffs, so we'll see if they could win the series this time because they couldn't do it the first time they faced off against them. The Minnesota Wild are going on to the Western Conference semifinals as they win 7 against the St. Louis Blues. Now they got to face off against the Winnipeg Jets. Minnesota Wild losing 5 against the Jets, and that ends their playoff hopes and dreams. Nail Yakupov this time around didn't go scoreless. 12 games played, 13 points. Definitely very respectable numbers for Nail Yakupov in his second postseason run. Patrick Marleau finally retired at the age of 44. Holy crap. God retired at 38. The Winnipeg Jets went on to win the Stanley Cup. Leon Draisaitl, where's your Art Ross and your Hart Memorial? James Norris with the James Norris with the John Carlson. Why do I keep doing that? John Carlson with the James Norris. Matt Barzell with the Lady Bing. Jay Williams, I'm not sure who that is, with the Calder. Connor Hellebuck wins the Conn Smythe. Vezina goes to Carter Hart. Kata. Robin Leonard with the Williams. Cam Fowler with the Bill Masterson. Ryan O'Reilly with Frank J. Selke. Ted Lindsay to Draisaitl. And Pierre-Luc Dubois and Maurice Richard. Nice. Free agency is highlighted by Ivan Provorov. I don't know why it is, because there's a Leon Draisaitl down here who apparently I sent a contract to. The game has anyways. So Leon Draisaitl definitely the big fish, but we got Mitch Marner, Ivan Provorov. There's some pretty big names. And Robin Leonard is the top goalie as well. Here is the Minnesota Wild roster for 2024. Same first line as last year. Kaprizov, Kadri, and Yakupov. That actually go down. I thought it was an 87. Boldy has jumped up significantly. Marco Rossi's up here as well. He's going to be the future center of this team, so that's good to see. But this could be Yakupov's last season. Again, this is his last season before his contract is up, so we'll see what he does. Owen Power up here is an 88 overall now, so he's really killing it. And we'll go ahead and check out their goalie situation. Robin Lehner. So this could be the year for the Minnesota Wild. At the deadline here, the Minnesota Wild, they're 5th place, and they're about 11 points back. Or I should say 9 points back, sorry. My math don't work. But it's if they could gang those points, it's like top 3 teams or I should say top 4 teams are pretty low here. St. Louis obviously being the one exception. Kirill Kaprizov leading the team in points is 63, 13 more than Nail Yakupov, who's got 20 goals and 30 assists. Seems to be more of the assister this season than the goal scorer. Sitting still at an 86 overall. Like I said, this is his last year on his contract at 23 years of age. Minnesota Wild could not make the playoffs. Will this be the last time we see Nail Yakupov in a Wild jersey? Yakupov finished his season with 32 goals, 39 assists, and 71 points. Still a respectable season for Nail Yakupov, one of his highest point totals. Only a couple points back from last season as well, so it's not like he completely shit the bed, but I would have liked to see him really go off this season, contract here, but still respectable. I'm sure he's going to get some big-time bucks. Will it be from Minnesota or somebody else, though? Patty Kane and Evgeny Malkin have both retired. That is some big names. Also, Zach Ronaldo. The Buffalo Sabres are once again Stanley Cup champions. That's 2 times now within 4 years. That's pretty damn impressive. Alex Turcotte winning the Art Ross and the Hart. Erik Karlsson with another James Norris. Lady Bing to Alex Turcotte as well. Calder goes to Hummel. Conn Smythe to Taylor Hall. Vezina to Connor Hellebuck. William Jennings to Connor Hellebuck. Bill Masterson to Stanley. Elias Pettersson wins to Frank J. Selke. Alex Turcotte wins to Ted Lindsay. And Alex Turcotte wins to Maurice Richard. I gotta go see what kind of year Alex Turcotte had now. Alex Turcotte had 66 goals and 42 assists for 108 points. It's pretty damn impressive. The Minnesota Wild actually have the first overall pick. They had the 15th pick, and they jumped all the way up to 1 because this game's ridiculous like that. So it'll be interesting to see. Will they sign Yakupov and grow this pick with them, or will Yakupov leave and they'll start trying a new rebuild with another first overall pick? So let's see who they get here. They draft a right-wing playmaker, 81 overall, Eriksson, so this could be the replacement for Yakupov. We'll just have to wait and see. Looks like Nail Yakupov isn't hitting free agency, so let's go see. Well, first of all, let's see who's the top UFAs here. Morgan Riley, Nazem Kadri. Nazem Kadri, 89 overall, that's freaking impressive. And the goaltenders are Robin Lehner again and Ilya Samsonov, Thatcher Demko. A lot of good goalies in this year's free agency. Nail Yakupov now an 87 overall, not 97. Signed a 3-year, $8.5 million deal with the Minnesota Wild. So he'll be here till at least 26. The Minnesota Wild's top line now looks like Kirill Kaprizov, Marco Rossi, and Nail Yakupov, all 3 players that they drafted. So they're building from within, it seems. Matt Boldy down here as a second-line left winger is pretty damn good. Their defense is led by Owen Power and Jonas Brodin, but it's pretty weak after that. And their goalie is Elvis, of all people. We're at the point of the video where I ask, are you guys still here? If so, you must be enjoying the video, so go ahead and like it and subscribe if you want to. Of course, there'll be more NHL content for your eyes to watch, so feel free to do so. At the trade deadline in the Minnesota Wild, they're actually tied with our team, 73 points apiece with 63 games played, but it's relatively close besides Nashville, who's got a nice 11 to 10 point lead on our conference. But it could be anyone's game right now. Nail Yakupov has 35 goals and 23 assists with 58 points. Could this be the year that Nail Yakupov actually gets to 50 goals? We'll just have to wait and see on that. He's 87 overall still. And it's looking like it might be at least a 45-plus season for him. And look at that. We both made the playoffs, 94-92 apiece. The Minnesota Wild are facing off against the LA Kings in the first round. And Nail Yakupov finished with 43 goals. So close to the 45 that I said he was going to get. 41 goals for Kirill Kaprizov. These guys are killing it together as line mates, that is for sure. Is that the highest total he's gotten so far in his career? It has 79 points, so he eclipsed his 75 points that he had 2 years back. The Minnesota Wild lost in 5 against the LA Kings, so unfortunate for them. Nail Yakupov had 4 points in 5 games, so that's pretty damn good as well. Can't really complain about that, almost a point per game. The goals, on the other hand, though, some people might. He's a goal scorer, should be scoring some goals, and he only got 1, so. And the Los Angeles Kings are your Cup champions. That's 2 times now that the Minnesota Wild have lost to the eventual Cup champions. Jack Eichel and the Art Ross again. Hart Memorial to Jack Eichel. John Carlson to James Norris. Lady Bing to Matt Barzell. Robitaille wins the Calder. Quinton Byfield won the Conn Smythe. Vezina Trophy went to Carter Hart. William M. Jennings with the Carter Hart. Frank J. Selke to Pettersson. And Eichel with Ted Lindsay and the Maurice Richard. The greatest player of all time retired. The free agency class this year is led by Cale Makar. That is a huge get for anybody. The 27-year-old in his prime age, looking for a big-time contract now. Ooh, Carter Hart also. That's another huge goalie. That's even Ilya Samsonov is here too, but Carter Hart in the prime as well. The Minnesota Wild have acquired themselves a top-line centerman in Anthony Cirelli. So now we have Kaprizov, Cirelli, and Yakupov as their top line. They got a really good second line too in Boldy, Rossi, and Eriksson. So they have 3 really good scoring lines. Honestly, their whole entire forward cast is really good. What is their defense like though? Power and Addison, Brule, Brodin, Valadi, and Alexiak. Not the best, but they do have the legit number 1 defenseman here as well. And then we'll go ahead and check their goaltending. And they still have Elvis, and their backup's awful, so hopefully Elvis doesn't get hurt for them. But I said last time it could be the year of Minnesota. I think they could go for a potential good cup run this time. Nail Yakupov has 61 points in 62 games this year. Once again, it doesn't seem to be much of the score, even though he has 24 goals, which is a lot of goals. But 37 points, 37 assists, 61 points. Hell of a season so far for Nail Yakupov. Can't say the same about the Minnesota Wild, though. As I said, 6th in the Central Division right now. 11 points back of 3rd place, such as a guaranteed spot. And just 6 points back of a potential wild card spot, so they need to really get their shit in gear if they want to make the playoffs. I think I'm just going to stop telling or saying that the Wild are going to have a good year, because every time I do, they have a really piss poor year. As you see, they finished 7th in the Central Division. That is just awful. Kirill Kaprizov finished with 86 points. He had 51 goals and 35 assists, followed by Nail Yakupov's 34 and 43 for 77. Nail Yakupov still an 87 overall, and he finished almost his high. 80 will be his next high if he could ever break it, but so far he seems to be a pretty consistent 70-point getter for his team. Oh shit, guys. Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin. Sidney Crosby's playing for the Washington Capitals? What? And Alexander Ovechkin both retired at the same time. They come in together, they retire together, it's only fitting. Sexiest man alive also retired. The New York Rangers are your Stanley Cup champions. Jack Eichel again winning an Art Ross and a Hart. James Norris goes to Miro Heiskanen. Lady Byng goes to Cole Caulfield. Calder goes to Jay Waugh, or Roy. Conn Smythe goes to Philip Chittle. Vezina Trophy to Philip Grubauer. William M. Jennings, Connor Hellebuck. Bill Mashton and Logan Stanley again. Frank J. Selke to Pettersson. Ted Lindsay Award to Jack Eichel. And Cole Caulfield wins the Maurice Richard Rocket Trophy? That's not how it goes. Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy, idiot. The 3 agency class is full of plenty of heavy hitters. So it looks like a couple of them might be RFAs. So I'm going to go straight to UFAs here. We have 4 people in the 90s, but led by Elias Pettersson, who is now a free agent at 20 years old. And it looks like the Wild are going to be looking for a new goalie, as Elvis Merzlikins is now in free agency. Oh no, seems like Nail Yakupov is going to be an 87 overall. That's just potential. It looks like it's hit that. But Eriksson Thomas Eriksson, the guy they drafted first overall a few years after, has gone to an 88 now at 20 years of age. So it seems like he is the new franchise face of this team. Yakapov falling down the second line now with Jost and Gurianov. That's a really good second line. It's almost as good as the first line. I said that last year too, and then they fell on their face. Let's see how their defense is looking. Still pretty bad. And see who they replaced Elvis Merzlikins with. That's the extras. I don't want that. Mads Sogard and Jacob Markstrom are now their 1-2 punch. I don't know. I think they're going to do poor. Reverse jinx, right? That's how that works. Remember when I tried to reverse jinx the Minnesota Wild? Well, yeah, that didn't work. They're currently 63 games played, only 41 points. They're 19-41. Yeesh. So you got to put Nail Yakupov on the second line. Nail Yakupov has 39 points. So is it safe to say that maybe Kaprizov is carrying Yakupov and not the other way around? Because 39 points in 63 games isn't great. 25 goals. He's probably going to break the 30-goal marker again, but boy, had a bad year so far for Nail Yakupov. The Minnesota Wild finished dead last in the Central with 48 points. Oh my God. And dead last in the league by so much. Holy, what a bad team. What happened? Nail Yakupov with 30 goals, 16 assists, and 46 points is a minus 25. My God. Terrible year for Nail Yakupov. One of his worst, I want to say. 46 points. Yeah, his worst year since his rookie year. Oof. Not a good look there, Nail. Not a good look at all. And that was his last year before his big contract, too. Oof. Steven Stamkos retired on Vegas. Dun, dun, dun. James Norris winner Jake Muzzin retired. The Los Angeles Kings are once again Stanley Cup champions. Nathan MacKinnon won the Art Ross and the Hart. Pro Rob won the James Norris. Kaliev won the Lady Byng. Calder went to Blair. Conn Smythe went to Kaliev. Vezina to Darcy Kemper. Carter Hart won the William M. Jennings. In Pittsburgh, Bill Masterson went to Morgan Riley. Frank J. Selke to Trevor Zegras. And Nathan MacKinnon won the Ted Lindsay. And Cole Caulfield once again back-to-back Maurice Richard trophies. The Minnesota Wild draft Alexander Radulov, apparently. Let's see what his actual name is. I'm curious. Andre Radulov, who's an 81 overall centerman already, elite medium. That's a pretty good grab for them. Not the franchise winger, which they should have had. They did finish last in the league, but Ottawa won the first overall pick, so that sucks for them. But they don't need another fucking right winger, let's be honest. It's the moment of truth. Will Nail Yakupov finally be a free agent? And yes, he is. Nail Yakupov has finally hit free agency. Will he re-sign with Minnesota? He is 26 years of age. Who knows? Or will he go somewhere else? Here is Yakupov's recent stat line for all of you who might not remember. He has consistently, been a 70-point scorer for the last 4 years, except for last season where he only had 46 in a horrible year. Able to put up 30 goals, though, so still, putting the puck in the net. So still a hot commodity in the prime of his career. We'll see if anyone pays big for him. Right now, he only wants $6.9 million, which is pretty cheap. Nail Yakupov is now a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning, moving over to the Eastern Conference. Nail Yakupov playing second line minutes behind a stacked top line of Nikita Gusev, Braden Point, and Nikita Kucherov. The two Nikitas and a Braden. He's playing with Rupi Hintz and Oliver Wahlstrom on the second line. This might be the best team that he's ever been on, where he doesn't have to be the go-to goal scorer. The defense is okay. There's not a superstar on the defense, though, and their goalie is Vasilevsky still, so they still got a premier number one goalie. The Yakupovless Minnesota Wild are once again the worst team in the Western Conference. 36 points in 63 games. What a bad team. But the Tampa Bay Lightning are third in the Atlantic Division, tied with three-way tie, actually, with Montreal and Toronto. So they got some work to do if they want to make sure they get that bottom spot. Let's check how they are in the Eastern Conference here, just to make sure where they're at. They are 1 point out of a playoff spot right now, so they really need to work for it in these closing games. Nail Yakupov third in points on the team, behind the two superstars on the team. Nail Yakupov's got 32 goals, 23 assists for 55 points. He's a minus 11, though. Never was a defensive genius, Nail Yakupov. Always about scoring goals, and he's put up 30 for them, so he's doing his job, I guess. The Tampa Bay Lightning fell flat on their face in the ending half of the season, finishing with 83 points. Not even close to the playoffs to where they were the last time we checked on them. Nail Yakupov might be a cancer to the playoffs because he's been in the playoffs, I want to say 3 times in his career, and once went to the second round, I want to say, and like 2 times was absolutely spanked. Nail Yakupov finished 4th on the team in points, 67 points, 38 goals though, 29 assists. Didn't crack the 70-point plateau that he's used to cracking. Is he already on the decline? We haven't checked his contract, so he signed a 6-year, $6 million contract, so he's going to be here for a while. Buffalo legend Taylor Hall retired. Penny Oleksiak's brother retired. The St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid won the Art Ross. Hart Memorial with Alex Turcotte. James Norris to Cal McCarr. Lady Bing to Alex Turcotte. Solis wins the Calder. Conn Smythe goes to Eklund. Vezina to Tarasov. William M. Jennings to Gustafson. Bill Masterson the pushover. Zegras wins Frank J. Selke. Turcotte wins Ted Lindsay. And Turcotte wins Maurice Richard. The free agent class is headlined by Braden Points. That's the last thing Nail Yakupov needs is to lose that franchise center. So we'll see what happens. The Tampa Bay Lightning now have Nail Yakupov on the top line playing left wing for the first time in his career, I want to say, with Barry Boulet and Nikita Kucherov as his line mate. So he's on the top line with Nikita Kucherov. I expect him to get at least 40 goals this season. Their defensive core, did it get any better? Not really. It's pretty much the same. And do they still have Vasilevsky and Nightingale as their goalies? So definitely a weaker team than what they had last season, in my opinion, overall anyways. But they do have Nail Yakupov on the first line, so he should get some good numbers at 20 years of age. And he's 88. He actually grew. Look at that. This is why we check things. So there is his stats now. So a little bit of a boost for playing with his fellow countryman and Nikita Kucherov, I guess. Oh no. Poor Tampa Bay. 67 points. They're not too far back. Like I said, last year it was the same thing. We'll see how they are in the Eastern Conference here because they aren't doing too hot. Nail Yakupov, man. Very accurate to maybe what his career would have been like if he was able to stay in the league so far. Maybe not as many points, but it's not doing well. Not too far out. It's a 2-point gap. They're very well, if they don't blow it like they did last season, they should be able to make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Nail Yakupov actually is 25 for 25. That's pretty impressive for him. Kucherov with an extra 10 points, but they seem to be gelling pretty well. Kucherov about at a point per game pace. Yakupov could score a bit more, I guess, if he wants to help his team out because he's still a minus player. It seems like everyone's a minus player on this team. So. And the Tampa Bay Lightning managed just to squeak into the playoffs by 2 points to beating up the New Jersey Devils. So they're going to face the other Florida team, that being the Florida Panthers in the first round. Here you can see right here, they have a pretty tough road. They got the Buffalo Sabres possibly if they, or the Boston Bruins if they can get past Florida. Yakupov finished with 34 goals and 34 assists. That's his most balanced season yet, with 68 points. Still not cracking that 70-point plateau, but pretty damn good season. Tampa Bay won in 6 games to take care of the Florida Panthers. Now they got the Buffalo Sabres who swept the Boston Bruins in the second round, or in the first round. Nail Yakupov with 6 points in 6 games. He had 2 goals and 4 assists in his first 6 playoff games, so he's putting in the points. Tampa Bay lost in 7 games to the Buffalo Sabres. They were that close for Nail Yakupov going as far as he's ever been in the playoffs. That's to the Eastern, or a conference final, I should say. Oof, Yakupov's second series did not go well, though, only putting in 1 point. So we could definitely say it fell in the hands of Nail Yakupov in that series, and he failed miserably at it. Lena Paul's brother retired. The Edmonton Oilers are your Stanley Cup champions. Art Ross goes to a created player, and so does the Hart. Cal McCarr wins to James Norris. Lee wins the Lady Bing. Alvstad wins the Calder. McDavid with the Conn Smythe. Yaroslav Askarov winning the Vezina. Samsonov wins the William Jennings. Pushover wins the Bill Masterson. Frank J. Selke goes to Jack Hughes. And Lee wins the Ted Lindsay. And Verdino wins the Maurice Richard. I gotta go look at the Coyotes real quick. 123 and 122 points. Holy crap. And Cal McCarr had 101 points. That is freaking mental. 96 overall and 92 overall. Yeah, that explains that. That's insane. Oh, shit. The 2 big boys in Arizona are in the free agent market. I believe they're both RFAs, but that sucks for them. That's a lot of money they're going to have to dish out. Yakupov has now been replaced on the top line by Timo Meier. Oh my goodness. His that playoff series really did him in, eh? They do have Dubowitz now on the top line as a centerman, so Barry Bolette comes down with Yakapov to play with Taylor Radish. So still, some decent lines here. Obviously, the bottom lines can be a bit better than what they are, but oh my god, that's Ryan Johansson. He's playing left wing. And defensively, they're still pretty much the same. And in nets, they have Vasilevsky, who's lost this big-time step at 36 years of age. So I don't know about Tampa this year. The Tampa Bay Lightning are holding on to a playoff spot right now. Two teams right behind them, one with a game in hand. So it's going to be another tight run to the playoffs for them. Nail Yakupov with 61 points so far on the season, 63 games played, 30 goals, 31 assists. Playing quite well, honestly. So is Timo Meier, though. Probably one of his better seasons thus far. He's already at 60 points. Possibly can get up to that 70-point plateau once again in his career at the age of 29. The Tampa Bay Lightning do make the playoffs, 93 points, so they pretty much killed it to get in, so good for them. Yakupov finishes with 73 points, 32 goals, 41 assists, which gives him his third most he's ever gotten, fourth most he's ever gotten. So his best career his best performance so far in Tampa Bay. So good for him, and also a plus 11. And Tampa will face off against Detroit in the first round this year. Tampa Bay lost in 6 games in the first round, so Yakupov's poor playoff performances continue to haunt him. Though he did have 7 points in 6 games, so you can't blame Yakupov for this one, that's for sure. Didgeridoo's retired. The New Jersey Devils are your Stanley Cup champions. Connor McDavid wins the Art Ross again, and the Hearts. Vazinov wins the James Norris. Lady Bing to Kucherov. Sierra, wins the Calder. Conn Smythe goes to Jack Hughes. Askarov wins the Vezina again, and the William Jennings. Bill Mash in the Corson. Lambert wins Frank J. Selke. McDavid with Ted Lindsay, and Raleigh with Maurice Richard. Long-time NHL Seattle 32 team is Atu Ratti is in free agency, so we'll see where he ends up. Okay. Nathan McKinnon is now on a line with Barry Boulette and Nail Yakupov. So we'll see if Yakupov has his most productive season. Obviously, Nathan McKinnon is 36 years of age now, and he's, in the twilight of his career, but we'll still see if he can dish the puck to Nail Yakupov, who is an 88 overall 30-year-old as of 2031. Oh my goodness, we're already at 2031. Defense is slightly better than what it's used to. At least everyone is like an 80 except for Boyd. And they have Georgiev and Vasilevsky as their goalies now. Oh shit! Okay, Tampa Bay traded my centerman to Vegas, and they got a first-round pick. Alright, if you made it this far in the video, tell me who your favorite team is in the National Hockey League and what you expect for them this season coming up. That's why Tampa Bay did that, because they're last in the Atlantic and they have no chance of making it into the playoffs unless they go on a miraculous run and everyone else loses. Nail Yakupov's having a hell of a year, though. 30 goals, 32 assists, 62 points again. He's racking them up, so still an 88 overall. Tampa Bay Lightning finished 27th, I should say, not 79th. That's how many points they had. Dingus. 27th in the league. Nail Yakupov, man. Oof. Not having a great career. Though he did put up 40 goals, 39 assists for 79 points. He is putting up the numbers, but he's getting no success with these numbers. Hasn't won any awards. I believe 79 is his career high. Yes, it is. He couldn't get that 80 mark, unfortunately. But so he's hit 79 twice in his career, and he's hit the 40 goal mark twice in his career, I believe. 3 times in his career. So, he's a good player, but that success just isn't coming his way. Not yet, anyways, at the age of 30. Nail Yakupov's best friend retired. The Detroit Red Wings are your Stanley Cup champions. Cole Caulfield won the Art Ross. Lizelle won the Hart Memorial. Nakaro won the James Norris. Cole Caulfield won the Lady Byng. Applicator won the Calder. Conn Smythe with Anthony Mantha. Schwartz won the Vezina. Shostorkin won the William Jennings. Frank J. Selke went to Pedersen. Ted Lindsay went to Lysell. And Lysell won the Maurice Richard as well. Seems like we reached that point in time where the free agent market is full of made-up players. I know Nico Hischier's here and Sam Reinhart and a couple guys you might recognize like Marco Rossi and whatever, but most of these guys I believe aren't actual hockey players. Jesper Wallstedt, though, is here, and he's going to be really good in real life, and he is the number 1 goalie on the market. Now, Yakupov back on the top line of Tampa Bay, this time with Dubowitz and Kucherov as his line mates. decent looking team once again on paper. I don't know how their defense looks, but we'll take a look. Still don't have that defensive stud that they've been desperately looking for, and we'll see what they've done with their goaltending because it was terrible last season. See if they upgraded it. Nope, it got even worse. The Tampa Bay Lightning are holding on to a playoff spot right now. A pretty big lead too, 9 points. So that's good to see for them. I thought they'd be a lot worse off than they are. Nail Yakupov, 25-26, doing what he does, getting goals and assists right now, 51 points, 62 games, a little bit underwhelming. Nathan MacKinnon was starting off as a fourth-line center, so I assume he got moved up somewhere because he's got 54 points. And Nikita Kucherov is doing Kucherov things. So Tampa Bay Lightning do make the playoffs. They're facing off against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round, but they got to face off against Florida or Buffalo if they get through, so that's like their kryptonite right there in Buffalo. Yakupov finishing with 71 points, with Kucherov finishing with 100. Yakapov picked up his game a bit, 35-36 at the end of the season. Respectable numbers, I'm telling you. He's definitely a top-line winger, that's for sure. And once again, Nail Yakupov gets eliminated in the first round of the playoffs in 6 games against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yakupov played 6 games, had 1 goal. This dude is not a playoff performer, or a consistent playoff performer anyways, that's for sure. And things just got harder because Nikita Kucherov decides to call it a career after playing 1,560 games and putting up 1,657 points. Nail Yakupov is now going to be the go-to guy on that team, so we'll see if Tampa brings in someone to help him out or not, but it's going to be a long year, I think, for Nail Yakupov. The Anaheim Ducks are your Stanley Cup champions. Antoine Lundell winning the Art Ross, Enhart, Cal McCarthy, James Norris again, Matt Boldy with the Lady Bing. Conn Smythe goes to Lundstrom, Vezina to Askarov again, my goodness. William Jennings to Askarov again. Frank J. Selke goes Vasily Ponomarev. Antoine Lundell with the Ted Lindsay, and Turcotte with the Maurice Richard. So I see a couple people in here that can possibly be replacements for Kucherov if they decide to try to get a replacement, but we'll see what Tampa's going to do, or if Yakupov's going to be the lone man on that island of Tampa Bay. So it seems like Tampa went out and got Nikita Markov. I'm not sure where he comes from, but it looks like another 87. He's a playmaker, so you never know. He could be a good teammate for Yakupov. I know the Russian, he's put up some pretty decent points in the last 3 years, so of course they'll be playing with Dubowitz and Yakupov in the first line. It looks like they got rid of their other centerman and brought in Cody Glass as well. See if they did anything on defense. Still a crapshoot on defense, pretty much. A lot of good young players now that have potential, but they're all old now, right? So, and of course, their goalie is Barry Ladd. Okay, so they have a decent duo in net, at least. At the deadline, the Tampa Bay Lightning sit pretty comfortably in the 3rd spot in the Atlantic Division, 10 points up of the Ottawa Senators, the exact number of games played. Nail Yakupov had himself a hell of a season. Seems like Markov is the guy he was waiting for. Markov, the best on the team right now, with 79 points. Looks like they found the replacement for Kucherov. Yakupov with 68 points, 30 goals, 38 assists. Looks like he's going to break his record. He just needs 11 more points to get to 80. So we'll see if he can do that in the next 20 games. The Tampa Bay Lightning have made the playoffs. They're facing off against the rivals of Florida Panthers in the first round. No Buffalo this time, but they still have to get through that first round, which seems to be an issue for Nail Yakupov, so we'll see if they can do it. Nail Yakupov finishing with 89 points, his highest point total ever, at the age of 32, I should say. As you can see here, he's got 39 goals, which is not his highest. I believe 40 was his highest. 43 was his highest, or 44 was his highest amount of goals, but definitely his most amount of assists with 50 this year. So 39 goals, 50 assists, 89 points. It was a plus 18. It was pretty damn good. Was shooting at a 12.4 shooting percentage. 12 power play goals, 23 power play points. Not too bad of a season for him. His best yet, as we said. Nail Yakupov's playoff dreams once again are crushed in the first round as he loses in 7 games to the Florida Panthers. Can't blame Yakupov for this series, though. This is the most he's ever put out in one series. 7 games played, 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists. He was doing his best, but it just didn't happen. They lost in 7 games against the Panthers. Look at this retirement class. Nathan MacKinnon, Jack Eichel, Draisaitl, Matthews, Sam Reinhart, Mitch Marner, Barzell, Mikko Rantanen, William Nylander, holy shit, Patrick Laine, like, oh my god, these are like all like the stars in the league right now. You know, minus this guy, but even the GOAT retired. The Detroit Red Wings are once again Stanley Cup champions. Seems like a lot of teams win, like not back to back, but they'll win one, lose, and then win in the next year. Art Ross goes to Rally again with Hart Memorial, Tuola with the James Norris, Lady Bing goes to Sarich, Calder goes to Teratukin, Askarov again with another Conn Smythe, I believe. Raymond with the Vezina, Raymond with William Jennings. So a bunch of made-up players. Brad Lambert's a real player in real life. Rally, yep. Nail Yakupov, once again, at the age of 32, has decided that it's time to go into the free agent market and try to find, I guess he's going to be cup chasing now and going to one of the best teams. He just had one of his best productive seasons, so we'll see what he decides to do. Nail Yakupov is now a Vegas Golden Knight. We'll see what kind of contract he signed. 4 years at $12 million, getting his big payday at 32 years of age. This very well could be Nail Yakupov's last contract, and it's a good one for him. Let's go see if it's really a good one, if he has anyone that he's actually going to be able to play with. Looks like a pretty good team. Nail Yakupov with Ruslan Perezhogin, Quinton Byfield as his centerman. That's a pretty good top line. I'm not sure about this Perezhogin guy. Let me look at his career stats here. He's 32 years of age. Decent career, very similar to Nail Yakupov's the last couple of years anyways, with playing with Vegas. Quinton Byfield, let's check him real quick, see how his career has gone. About what I'd say he'd do in real life, between like the 60 and 70 point totals of the big body, Their defense is pretty good. They have two really top quality defensemen with Adam Boqvist and Stefan Nordqvist. And their goaltending is also really good. So this could be Yakupov's time. What is wrong with Nail Yakupov? Is he just a cancer? I don't get it. That team looks so good on paper, and they currently have 56 points on the season. They're not going to make the playoffs. There's absolutely no way they make the playoffs. I have no idea what's happening. Let's go check. Nail Yakupov's got 51 goals, 25 assists, 76 points, but it looks like it falls off right after that second line maybe. Let me look at their goaltending stats. I have no idea what the issue is here. Apparently they only have one goalie and he's doing horrible, so that makes sense. The Vegas Golden Knights finished 28th in the league with 33 wins and 40 losses and 9 overtime losses. Yeesh. Nail Yakupov, his best season yet though, 68 goals and 33 assists. No, what are these goal totals? Let me look at this real quick. No one broke 20 except for him with 68. What the hell? How did he do that? That is insane. So that is Nail Yakupov's best season today. He's a 90 overall now. I guess that really helped him pump up his stats. 68 goals, 33, 101 points. Could be good enough for a couple of awards. He might be. His first award is at the age of 33. We'll have to wait and see. The future of the Bruins retired. Washington Capitals were your Stanley Cup champions. Morrison won the Art Ross. Marsh won the Hart. Kyle McCarr won the James Norris. Johnson won the Lady Byng. Coop with the Calder. Conn Smythe with the Cole Caulfield. Vezina with the Jacobson again. Or no, it was Raymond last year, but I believe it was a San Jose goalie anyways. Jacobson. Edler won the Bill Masterson. Wow. Bill Masterson. There we go. Quinton Byfield won the Frank J. Selke. Sarge won the Ted Lindsay. And Nail Yakupov won the Maurice Richard Trophy for most goals in the league. So there you go. He's finally won something. It was the Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy. Pretty good trophy to win. The Vegas Golden Knights this year got absolutely worse. They have Peyton Krebs now as a left wing. I guess he is technically listed as a left wing, but I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be playing center. I thought he was drafted as center, whatever, it doesn't matter. They got weaker is what I'm trying to get at. Unless they brought someone on defense, doesn't look like they did. Did they get a new goalie? Oh my goodness, they are in trouble. Vegas Golden Knights again in 7th place. Oh my goodness, 70 points. They are 10 points back. It's possible they could make it in, but I doubt it's going to happen. Nail Yakupov is scoring at almost a goal per game. So apparently him and Quinton Byfield and Peyton Krebs are those are his boys, because he is scoring at an unbelievable pace right now. 62 goals in 63 games with 23 assists at the age of 34. He's regressing a bit. He was 90s and 89 now, but that is insane. Shooting at 18% shooting percentage. That is mental. He's got 22 power play goals, or 23 I should say, 29 power play points. Holy crap, Nail Yakupov. Apparently, the older he gets, the better his shot gets. Vegas had a little bit of a push at the end, but still not close enough. 91 points on the season. They got up to 5th. I'm very curious to see where Nail Yakupov finished. Nail Yakupov finishing with 74 goals and 31 assists for 105 points. Holy crap, Nail. That is insane. So that's he beat his personal best last season, then beat it again this season. So At the age of 34, Nail Yakupov having his most productive season point-wise. Unfortunately, still not good enough to bring his team to the playoffs, but pretty damn impressive season, to say the least. Let's go ahead and I want to take a look at his shot real quick. 97 wrist shot accuracy, that'd probably do it. Same with the slap shot accuracy. He's taken some wicked windups. David Pastrnak retiring with 1,685 games played, 1,683 points. Hell of a career for Pasta. The Toronto Maple Leafs are your Stanley Cup champions. Nail Yakupov won the Art Ross. Cole Caulfield won the Hart Memorial. James Norris went to Eric Brandstrom. Cole Caulfield won Lady Byng. Schultz won the Calder. Conn Smythe went to Miro Heiskanen. Vezina went to Jeremy Swayman, and William Jennings. Bill Masterton went to Kenzalio. Ponomarev won the Frank Jaselki. Cole Caulfield won the Ted Lindsay. And Nail Yakupov won the Maurice Richard. So now Nail's a 2-time Rocket Richard and a 1-time Art Ross winner. Looks like Krebs, Byfield, and Yakupov is going to be the lineup again. It looks like they beefed up the second line a bit. The third line is pretty bad. The fourth line is, that's the fourth line. The third line could be better. That's all I can say about Vegas right now. Their defense is getting worse. I imagine they didn't bring in another goalie. Yeah, they're pretty much rolling the same team. So Yakupov's going to have to get like 130 points for this team to make the playoffs, apparently. Vegas Golden Knights are actually in a position to go into the playoffs right now. 78 points. They're one back of Anaheim for a guaranteed playoff spot. Let's see how they're doing in the West just to make sure. They are in 5th, so yeah, they should be in the wild card spot no matter what, unless they really falter. Nail Yakupov's got 50 goals, 28 assists, 78 points. Quinton Byfield right behind him, and so is Peyton Krebs. So this line is actually doing real well for them. Oh shit, the Vegas Golden Knights have made it to the playoffs, and their first team is the Minnesota Wild. This could be Yakupov's chance to prove to the Wild that they should have never gotten rid of him. Let's see if he can get it done. Yakupov also finished with 61 goals, 43 assists for 104 points. He's 88 overall now, so he's slowly falling, like I said. One off of his best last season. A lot more assists than goals this season around, but still a very, very good season for him. He was also a plus 30 this season, which is also very helpful. Nail Yakupov beats the Minnesota Wild 4-2. Not Vegas. Nail Yakupov beat the Minnesota Wild 4-2. Moving on to face St. Louis in the second round. Yakupov had 16 points in 6 games. This dude is on fire. 11 goals in 6 games in the playoffs. This guy doesn't want to win a cup this year. I don't know what else he's doing, because this is pretty impressive. That's a ridiculous stat total. It looks like Nathan McKinnon numbers. Nail Yakupov in 7 games is finally going to a conference final. 34 or 35 years of age now. Finally in his first conference final against the Anaheim Ducks. Let's see if he can get all the way to the Stanley Cup final. He now has 28 points in 13 games, 19 goals. This dude is on fire. Sadly, that's where Nail Yakupov's journey will end. In 7 games, they fall to the Anaheim Ducks, and Nail Yakupov won't get his shots at a Stanley Cup. Not just yet, anyways. Just for a little example, 20 games played for Nail Yakupov, 22 goals, 11 assists, 33 points. The next closest is Francis Raleigh with 28, who's in the finals right now. So it looks like he'll probably get surpassed in the point total, but that's pretty damn impressive. Connor McDavid retires on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Sorry, I saw the blue. 1,696 games played, 1,982 points. What a career for Connor McDavid. The Anaheim Ducks are your Stanley Cup champions. I want to say this is the 3rd time that Nail Yakupov's team has been eliminated by the eventual Stanley Cup champion winners. Raleigh won the Art Ross and the Hart Memorial, stealing it from Nail Yakupov. James Norris goes to Burnett. Boldy wins the Lady Byng. Kvasha wins the Calder. Conn Smythe to Sierra. Vezina to Askarov. Gamble with William Jennings. Lundell with Frank Jaselki. Ted Lindsay goes to Raleigh. And Maurice Richard goes to Raleigh. So no awards for Nail Yakupov this year. Nail Yakupov has fallen to an 86 overall at the age of 36. Quite possibly his last year, because this is the last year in his contract. So we'll see if this will be his last year. You can see his wrist shot accuracy has fallen a bit. A lot of stuff has fallen. His speed is still pretty quick, though. He can still move. And this team has gotten way worse. They now have one line and Callie Johnson. That's pretty much it. Defensively, not looking much better. And in nets, no, they have a good goalie now in Reed Schneider. So I don't know. I don't think Nail Yakupov, Quinton Byfield, and Peyton Krebs could lift them to the cup, but we'll see. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about the Vegas Golden Knights. 54 points in 63 games. They're not making the playoffs. This could be Nail Yakupov's last season. It'll be very, if it is, it'll be very saddened one, that's for sure. He's got 65 points, 35 goals, 30 assists. He's going to scoring over a point per game, so he's still doing his job. But that team isn't very good on paper. So Vegas Golden Knights finished 26th in the league. Nail Yakupov finished with 84 points, 47 goals, 37 assists. So if this is his last season, like we said, this is last season on last year on his contract. So this could very well be his last season because he'll be 37 going into next season. I'll just have to wait and see. This could be a very bitter end for Nail Yakupov's career. New York Islanders are your Stanley Cup champions. Rally again with the Art Ross, Datsuk with Hart Memorial, Kravchenko with the James Norris, McAmmond with the Lady Bing. Calder goes to Appleby, Lysick with the Conn Smythe. Vesna goes to Archibald, Hamonic with William M. Jennings, Frank Jaselki to Hopkins, Datsuk with Ted Lindsay, and Rally with Maurice Richard. As you can see, we're in the point of the franchise mode where everyone's made up. Yakupov refuses to retire. He wants that cup. He's going to be going to free agency. Let's see where he signs. Nail Yakupov wanting a 2-year deal, 87 overall, 36 years of age at $10 million. Let's see where he ends up. Nail Yakupov signs with the Philadelphia Flyers at 86 overall at the age of 37. 1-year deal, $8.45 million. Let's see if he signed for a cup or if he just signed for the money. So it looks like they got a pretty well-balanced 3 lines here and a decent 4th line. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We'll check their defense out. Ooh, no. I don't know what you're doing, Yakupov. Ooh, no. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to say anything, but I don't like his choice so far. I would like to formally apologize to the Philadelphia Flyers, who are top in the Metropolitan Division. I don't know how, but they are. Nail Yakupov's got 83 points in 63 games, 49 goals, 34 assists. That might be the reason why, though they are getting some really good consistent scoring throughout their roster. Philly was the 3rd best team in the league. Just let that sink in. Best in the conference. Nail Yakupov finished with 53 goals and 42 assists for 95 points. Kuplin's with 105 points, 17 goals, 88 assists. Holy crap. And we had the Flyers versus Carolina in the first round. The Flyers make it look easy, 4-1 victory, but they're facing off against the Columbus Blue Jackets team that just won 4 straight, so we'll see how lucky they can get against them. Nail Yakupov had 5 points in 5 games. It looks like Nail Yakupov's dream comes crushing down again as he gets beaten in the second round in the 7-game series against the Columbus Blue Jackets. He finished with 10 points in 12 games, and that very well could be the last time we see Nail Yakupov in the league. Nail Yakupov says, "Nuh-uh, I ain't done yet. I'm still not retiring. 1 more year, Nail Yakupov." Toronto Maple Leafs have won the Stanley Cup again. Kavasha, the Art Ross, and the Hart Memorial. Medvedov with the James Norris. Lysell with Lady Bing. Cunningham with the Calder. Conn Smythe go to C. Barry. Vesna with Campbell with the Vesna. Goddammit, William Jennings to Pekka. Schneider with the Bill Masterson. Voracek with the Jet. Wait, what? There's no way. Okay, he's coaching. He's coaching Jack Adams. That's kind of cool. I thought he was still playing for a second. Frank Jaselki to Quinton Byfield. Kavash with the Ted Lindsay. And Rally with Maurice Richard 3 years in a row. Nail Yakupov, 87 overall, 37 years of age. Will be 38 when he signs his contract. Still wants a 2-year deal. We'll see if he gets it from anybody. Nail Yakupov actually goes right back to Philly after hitting free agency. I guess he decided 1 more year in Philly would do it at $8.15 million. Here's the stats, as you can see right here. And I'm assuming this is probably going to be the last time we see Nail Yakupov. He's playing with Kuplin and Henrik Eriksson now at age 31. Their line seems to have gotten a bit weaker, but not too much weaker. Their defense is still pretty bad, and their goaltending situation is worse than it was last year, I want to say. There we go. Philly's doing it as well as I thought they'd do this time around. Yakupov's got 33 goals and 30 assists in 63 games. He's got 63 points. Still playing well. Kulshov is also playing well. But, that's about it. I think this is going to be the end of Nail Yakupov's career as an 85 overall. I think they're not going to make the playoffs, and I think he'll call it a career, but let's wait and see. Nail Yakupov finished with 50 goals, 41 assists, 91 points. Pretty good numbers to end out his career, maybe. We'll see. You never know. He might play another year. Nail Yakupov will not die. I'll tell you what, Quinton Byfield has retired, though. But Nail Yakupov is like, I need that cup. Yakupov still with the Philadelphia Flyers. 1 more year, $12 million, more money than last time. 39 years of age. He's playing on the second line now, and his number one centerman is Michael Lawrence, who's 20 years old, so I don't like the odds of that for him, but we'll see what happens. Defensively, they are still pretty bad, and their goaltenders are 83 and 83 apiece. All right, the Flyers are in a playoff spot right now, second in the Metropolitan. It doesn't look like they'll be able to get to first, but they should hold on to their at least a playoff spot. So Yakupov's got 71 points in 63 games, 34 goals, 37 assists, 240 shots. That boy be shooting that puck hard. I'm kind of curious to see if he's still playing second line minutes. No, they got him on the first line now with Markov, Copeland, Yakapov. That makes a lot more sense than where they had him before. So that, their team looks a lot better than it did. That's for sure. Their defense is still terrible, but the Philadelphia Flyers will be playing the New York Rangers in the first round this time. So Nail Yakupov having a chance at the playoffs one more time. He finished with 95 points, 48 goals, 47 assists. So his second half of his career has been better than his first half, that's for sure, in point production. But once again, Nail Yakupov loses in the first round. 5 games. Yakupov had 3 points in 5 games, not good enough. No one broke 4 on his team. Holy shit. Nail Yakupov still refusing to retire. He's going to be 40 years old, I think. And he just continues. He needs that cup. He needs it. Nail Yakupov won't be going to free agency because he signed a 2-year, $11 million extension at the age of 39 with the Philadelphia Flyers. Apparently he wants to finish with the Flyers in another 2 years. He'd be fucking 42 years old or something. Oh, goodness. Philly went out, and looks like they have pretty much the same lineup. Did they play anyone on defense? No, they didn't pay anyone on defense. Did they pay anyone on the net? Yeah, they got Oderlund, so they got a little bit better, that's for sure. Flyers in their playoff spot right now, third in the Metropolitan. Got a couple of points on that of New York and the Pittsburgh Penguins, so let's see if they can hold on to that. Nail Yakupov not leading the team in points this time, but he's leading in goals with 38, 32 assists, 70 points, 63 games, still killing it. 40 years of age, 84 overall. I can't imagine him playing a second season after this, even though he has a contract to play another year. The Flyers are going to face off against the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round. Nail Yakupov finished with 100 points. Where did that come from? 52 goals, 48 assists, stepping up his game to help his team make it to the playoffs. We'll see if he can keep that consistent goal scoring going throughout the playoffs. The Flyers won 5 games, so did the Islanders against the Rangers. You can see the Islanders are up 1-0 already. I made a mistake by assimilating a bit too far. But the Flyers did go on to the second round. Nail Yakupov had 7 points in 6 games, so he's still putting up points. Once again, Nail Yakupov can't get past the second round. Loses in 7 games. Seems like to be like an always happening situation for him. Finished with 15 points in 12 games, so you can't blame the 40-year-old Nail Yakupov. And of course, Nail Yakupov is going to finish that contract that he started because he ain't retiring, not yet. I don't even know who these players are anymore. That's how long he's been in the league. Nail Yakupov, at the age of 41, has fallen to an 82 overall. There's stats if you care to see them. He's playing with Johnson and Breland now. Still a pretty decent lineup. I feel like this guy's going to jump up. Copeland's going to jump up to the top center, but I don't know what the lines are right here. But their defense looks a bit better than it used to, and their goalie is pretty good. So you know what this means. They're going to finish last in the league. The Philadelphia Flyers, 84 points in 62 games. They're on fire. Yakupov down the list at 4 at 41 years of age, 27 goals, 35 assists, 62 points. Imagine at 41 you're opening up these kind of numbers. My goodness. The Philadelphia Flyers are facing off against the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round. If there's any time for a long cup run, it's to start by beating the Pittsburgh Penguins. So let's see if they can get it done. Yakupov finishing with 68 points. He's actually under a point per game for the first time in a while. And they got swept. Isn't that fitting? If this is the last year of Nail Yakupov, this is a totally fitting way for him to go out. Yakupov had 2 points, 2 goals in 4 games played. And there it is. Nail Yakupov finally retiring at the age of 41. Actually had a better career than Alexei Lafreniere, I should say. 1,879 games played, 963 goals, 805 assists, 1,768 points. And there it is. That's Nail Yakupov's career, everybody. Pretty damn good career, minus the fact that he never won a cup. He was a 2-time Maurice Richard Rocket winner and a 1-time Art Ross winner. Didn't rank on any board for the Minnesota Wild in the record books. Didn't rank anywhere on the points either for the Philadelphia Flyers, nor the Tampa Bay Lightning, nor the Vegas Golden Knights. Of course, he hopped around a lot, so it makes sense that he didn't rank on any of the record boards. But that is the career of Nail Yakupov. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took over about 8 hours to record because the simulation in this game is ass. It's so bad. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you think can improve this series. And if you have any ideas for any future episodes, let me know. So until next time, Herotheycallme, too sweet me.